Shut your dirty mouth. Mommy, but I want to. To what? What do you want to say? Who asked you to speak? What nonsense want to come out of that filthy mouth of yours? If I hear any word, you will have yourself to be blamed. Am I mistaken? Is it not that same treasure? That womb was my first home. A swelling cradle stretched with love. 9 months of silent sacrifice. Of pain wrapped with comfort. Of storms she bore so I could breathe. Her face was once the name I called peace. Now feels unfamiliar. What happened?
Welcome to another episodic moment of Speak With Our podcast.
And I'm your host, Mary the Talker. With me is a phenomenal guest, a lovely mother of two, an advocate of sign language, an educator, and a woman who has learned to reclaim her voice in the face of silence. Join me in welcoming Mrs. Owoade.
Beautiful women of strength and purpose. Good afternoon. My name is Owoade Esther, Mrs. And I am truly honored to be here this afternoon. It is in your voice that you gain strength. You wonder why many go into depression? It is because some couldn't own their voice. They couldn't speak out when they were supposed to do so. Yes. You know when you have the feeling that this thing is paining me, I need to say it. I must air out my mind. Let people hear my voice. But you couldn't speak it out. You couldn't voice it out. Then it starts to eat you up. You start feeling like, oh, and this thing is not how it's supposed to be. How do you now do it? There was a time when I couldn't air out my mind. When my voice was totally silenced. As a growing child, when I was an adolescent, the third among the sixth, and being raised by a single parent, especially a single mother, and my mom sells food. Because of my vocality, I'm a vocal person. I help her in selling, I help her in the shop, go to school and come back. And by the time I'm selling food and people are making a lot of comments, some people will come, they will start saying that it does not sit well with me, or they buy food, they want me to add more, and I say, I've put more, just for them to call the attention of my mother, because they know she does not take nonsense. They will start shouting, you are too saucy, you are this, and some of them will start cursing. And in the midst of it, my mom will beat me. She will do what? She will beat me. And will not, even if I want to talk, she will silence me. And this happens that it continues. And my brothers and sisters, they started leveraging on it, because they know mommy will not hear my voice. She will not allow me to talk. So it continues like that. I grew up with pain while living with my mother, and her sisters that were around. Something went wrong, she will go and report me to one of my auntie, and she will beat me. Put pepper in my eyes. I'm the one selling food. I dare not eat meat. If I eat it, it is counted as stealing. Things like that. The way she inflicts pain on me, I so much detest her while growing up. Until it gets to a certain point, because there are so many things, adolescent vibe and all that. There are so many things that happens. They will not hear my voice. They have started having this mindset. Whenever I'm going to school, I will be so happy when I get to school among my classmates. We'll play together. But immediately I hear the jingling of the bell, I will be sad again. I don't want to go home. I don't want to go home. Yes, I mean it. until like if a student was registered in my school. She came from Port Harcourt and we happened to be friends. And from there we started talking. Her lifestyle is one of the lifestyle that my parent does not like. She is coming from a city. I'm from a semi-urban area. So she wore trousers. I don't want my parents to know. There was a day she called me and said, come here, we cannot be doing hide and seek. Let your mom know that this is whom I am. So I told her this is what I've been battling with, this is what is going on. And she started encouraging me, encouraging me. I want to tell you that I was quiet until I get to higher institution. I went to NC 4 years because I did pre. And after my university education, there was a time something was going on and mom started again. That was the turning point. And I said, Mommy, no. The very first day I said no, she looked at me and looked at me again. And you know Yoruba people, she said something and said, wọ́n ti pọ́n ẹ léyín àbí? I said yes. Then I started recounting. What she has done, how I've been hurt, how she has been doing, and she said no, she did not do all these things. I said, Mommy, you did all these things I'm telling you. And she said, I am sorry. And I told her, I am hurt though. That was exactly the turning point in my life. The day I told her, I answered her and I looked at her in her face and said, Mommy, no, to whatsoever we were discussing that time. And she was shocked. And by the time she heard my voice, she was like, God, she has hurt me really deeply because it makes me withdrawn from her. This really caused a kind of distance, especially my twin brother. It caused a distance between us, and which we are just trying to build back.
For the first time I heard your story, I was so emotional, even though the video you sent to me was not complete. And immediately I had to request for the complete video because it was a video that was sent to me. We don't have a studio yet. So when she sent the video, I told her, I said, Ma, this your story is so emotional. It is even as if I've not seen it in a movie before. Because all these stories we will be like, Motirini in a movie, I've seen it in movies. But this particular one, I'm so shocked that it actually happened to her. So with all the experiences that you faced during your childhood, what truth did you have to accept to yourself about yourself? And how do you start healing?
Just like I said, that my growing as an adolescent then was a very tough one for me. The truth that I have to accept about myself is the personality of my mother. I had to accept her. My mother is a spiritual fanatic in her own religion. She also believes in all this African mentality about women. And whenever we are addressing matters, she will say, no, you are a woman, you don't do this, which causes that distance, that relationship between I and my siblings that are male. It makes us not to understand ourselves because they also grew up with this kind of mentality. I had to sit down one day and say, Esther, this is your reality. This is your mother. This is your twin brother. This is your elder brother. This is your younger brother. This is their belief. And among the six, I am the one that is well traveled. I've met with Hausa, Igbo, Yoruba, and different culture. I know how people behave and how they believe in things. So I have to accept them. I have to accept whom they are, especially my environment that believes in this culture, something that women should be submissive even when it is not comfortable. Women should not talk. younger ones should not talk even when they are hurting you. I have to do what? To accept whom they are. And at the same time, say no with respect. You see that my no was that high. I say no with respect to things that are not supposed to be. A cousin of mine that is a lady, a girl, living with us, and they are asking her to do some things like how she's supposed to do and all this thing. I looked at it and said, in this era, who does that? Like she should kneel down to greet every adult, that she carry her face, she does not open her mouth to talk. I have to sit my mother down and say, Mommy, this is the issue of individual personalities. I will not tell this girl to disrespect anybody. But this girl has become an adolescent, and we should allow her, because these are things that I miss when I was growing up. I miss them so much because I was never allowed to be a child. I was never allowed. So I have to tell my mom, leave her. Let an adolescent that she is. Let her alone so that we know the kind of person that she is. I have to accept my people and also to be firm in saying no to whatsoever that is not comfortable for me wherever I find myself. So, since this pains me and I have healed or still healing or some of these things that are very deeper than what I have shared here, I need to speak up for someone else. She can't talk by herself because my people believe as an elder they are always right. And this is hurting, it's very, very hurting this girl. So I have to stand up for her and speak to her. I talk to her. Hello, if you need anything or you feel like what they are telling you is not right or you are not comfortable, just a phone call. I'll be right there for you. And that was exactly what I did. And that is what I've been doing.
Wow. I love the fact that you've been an helping hand for the girl. So, and thank God that you are helping her to the right way. Because from your word, you also said saying no with respect. Because somehow some people would be misinterpreting what you are saying as saying no as just saying no for saying no sake. No. As I'm saying no right now. Because what she's just trying to just tell us that if there is somebody or there is something that is trying to just hinder your voice matters. It is valid. Your truth, everybody wants to hear it. You own your story, so share your story yourself. You own your voice, so speak out. Now I'm home. I know that this is what you love. As an advocate of sign language, so how has knowing sign language helped you shape your confidence to be able to express yourself?
Let me sit back and answer this very well. You see, the sign language that we're talking about, it is a language on its own. And I belong to the community that uses my hand to bridge the gap in between the deaf community and the hearing community. There was a time in my marriage that I feel like I don't need a third party for what was going on. Yes. And I was paying. You know what I did? I just picked up my phone and I started signing and talking to myself through the phone. I started making that communication like I talk and I recorded myself. You know, this is a language that I'm more comfortable with aside my mother's tongue and the official language, which is English language. I started interpreting, talking to myself and signing. And later, I played it. When I played it, oh my, I was just laughing. Esther, did you make this video? I was like, wow. When I was playing it, I feel like somebody talking to me about her pains. So from there, I started answering those that I know my fault happens to be part of it. And from there, it shaped me. It gives me strength. And one thing about this sign language of a thing, you know, I won't say I just learned the language as a language. It was what I studied in school, and I am still studying right now. So the language is my skill, which I know, and I found myself among the deaf community most of the time. So I feel comfortable with these people, especially I have best friend among them, which I talk to. You know, when I'm in among my friends that did not understand my language, and I'm with my friend, you see that confidence in me to tell the person of what is happening around me that I'm not comfortable with. Yes, I talk to the person, we talk, we encourage ourselves, and we moved on. And face to face, we talk to each other. So sign language is my language. Like,
Moving on. So, Mrs. Owoade, I'm familiar with your post on Facebook. Sometimes it should just be like a family stories and we'll learn and laugh about it. I want to ask you, have you ever experienced any risk or reward in sharing your stories online?
well, is there any risk that I have faced on social media? Actually, no, because I choose my word on social media, especially Facebook. But is there any time that I'm surprised? Yes, I am surprised of being misinterpreted. There was a time I uploaded something on social media. It was a very lengthy write up, though personal thing, which everybody captured it very well. And within 5 minutes, I started receiving calls from my mother-in-law. Hey, Esther, why did you upload this? Why did you say this? You did not even tell us. You just upload. I was like, what? What do you mean by this? I couldn't talk that time because I was still growing in the marriage. Though I was just like, I just answered and say, Mommy, whosoever that is not comfortable with my post on social media among those that called you should please unfriend me because they will see more of me, of my writing. Yes, that was exactly what I did. And what was the reward? My friends in my circle that understand me, they call on me, they sympathize with me because it was a case of robbery. People that will actually give me something they did, the pain that comes with that situation, some of my friends helped me healed. That was the reward. Some people have to share their own experience. Some even shared that post. They shared their experience, how they were able to heal, and so on and so forth. There was a time that my uncle too said something that you just be posting on social media. Sir, I have been home. I'm not doing anything. Do you want me to stay at home and waste? That's the only place I have to relate with people and people to hear me and people to still gather friends and not lose my friend. And I think the way I answered him was somehow. He reported me to my grandma. Said, when he talked, answered him. And why is he reporting me to you? Does he want us to have issue? And she picked an offense also. Your mouth is too sharp. So I was like, no now. No now. But you know one thing, this my grand aunt, I have been afraid of her since I was a child. But me answering her that very day give me a kind of strength that no. I told her, I said, Ma, I am a married woman. Go and read that thing that you said I posted and read my husband's comment. My husband, after God, is my Lord and my Master. And as long as he give me that wing, supported me to fly, I will fly to any length I want to. And since that day, she respected her boundaries. And I was also able to set my own boundaries. But I believe you understand that only my voice actually gave me strength in many things.
Thanks for sharing your story. We really appreciate it. Of course, we've learned one or two from this, even more than two self. Someone that is listening to this can testify to it because you are a witness to this. So, what is your advice, ma'am, to someone who is afraid to express herself?
You are loved. You are what? You are loved. If you feel like you are unable to talk, I so much loved you. But you know what? You have to do what? Snap out of it. Fast, fast. Else, depression will be your best friend. Please and please, no matter what, you can pick up your phone, start typing. Start typing. And you see all this matter of, I am an introvert, I don't talk, I'm not an extrovert, it's only extrovert people that talk. Please, there are a lot of disadvantages with being an introvert if you did not leverage it very well. So now, if you now feel like you are an introvert, you don't know how to talk or you don't know whom to talk to, get a diary. Your diary, and do what? Start writing. Write down your pains. Write down what you feel like you want to speak out. You want people to hear your voice. But I will advise you, please speak out. Speak up. Let your voice be heard. You have a lot of things to say. You might think people are not hearing you. They are hearing you. Those that will criticize you, yes, they will criticize you. But you know, those that will help you, they will surely come for you. Dear women, your voice is not a whisper in the background. It is a voice. It is the sound of your soul, your identity, your strength. Let today be the day you stop waiting for permission and start walking in your power. Because if you talk, you give others permissions to talk. I break forth that silence in my family, and my siblings were able to stand and talk to our mother the way they're supposed to. They were more closer to her now than I am.
Parents, come closer. This one is for you. This episode, this podcast is not validating a particular way to raise your girl child. But how do you expect a girl child you've been nurturing not to speak for herself to become a woman of voice and vision? When you silence the row while it is still a whisper, you've already stripped the courage in her to speak. You have turned a held girl child to an unheld one. And when the lion cub is taught to fear her own growl, she might never roar as a lion. If you would like to see more of this, then we need your help. Remember to subscribe, comment, and share. We love you.